If you have a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, this reading is for you for the month of March, eclipse season, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, so many things. Welcome to the Sacred Gray. My name is Astrid Seren. I'm a psychic oracle and mentor, and we're going to get right into it, Virgo. I've got a few things here that honestly, it doesn't look so bad, not to start. I know that there's a lot of anxiety around eclipse season, and March altogether is an eventful month, astrologically speaking. I don't dislike what I have in front of me here, though, at all. It seems that something for you is kind of being taken away, but it's not at all in a negative form. This is something that allows you to view your life through a lens that is slower, more celebratory. There's more time and space and room for healing and enjoyment, right? Particularly enjoyment, okay? The cards that I have here just to start, they're from the Green Glyphs Oracle, Lost Parrot, Enoki, the Snail, and the Gazebo. Now, Lost Parrot refers to something that is lost or perhaps already gone, right? Something that maybe you've been clinging to, something that maybe should have been gone a while ago that you're finally letting go of. Enoki is family. It's, old comforts. It's comfort. It's something that you know very well, right? It's family, usually chosen or otherwise. And then Snail and Gazebo, give us this image of taking your time in celebration and really appreciating moments as they come to you. Now, the other two cards I here have, the other two cards I have here are play and connect. So there's definitely something, that you are releasing that allows you to, seriously enjoy the life that you're living moment to moment in a way that is much richer. And Spirit is giving me the word nourishing. Spirit is kind of showing me, I'm seeing the word nosh, which I've always thought was like a funny word, but refers to like food that is, I think, particularly comforting. Like, I don't really know what the real meaning of the word nosh is, but I always think of if you've ever had kitchery. Kitchery is like it's like a mung bean stew, essentially. It's really fibrous. There's lots of vegetables in there, and it's deeply, deeply, deeply comforting. And that's something that I'm kind of getting off of this. I'm seeing a very warm and comfortable home that you're in with loved ones, full body chills, and there's this refreshing view on things where it's like you've made it out of the difficulty, you've made it out of the worst part, right? And now you're all there in the kitchen celebrating just the space together. There's not really anything in particular that you're celebrating, but just kind of taking up space together, right? That's the image that I'm getting here from Spirit, and that's beautiful. So Virgo, let's get into some of the timeline cards, some information about what's coming in for you in the month of March. All right. Oh, the Star. Love that to start. The Knight of Swords, the King of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Also, I am hyper aware of the fact that you can't see the cards that are in front of me. I will show you them as I'm able to, but when I try to get the camera to focus on them, it really screws everything up for me. So if you want to become a financial contributor to my mission, I have links in the description. I need one more camera body so I can give you an overhead view of what I see in front of me. Okay, but I'm going to do the best that I can. All that said, this looks like, for the month of March, you definitely have a vision that is brought to you. Spirit is saying gifted to you. So it might be something that feels like a gift. It might be something that Okay, so I'm getting a couple different things. So for one, it could be something that you have taken for granted in the past that all of a sudden you have a new perspective on, which is very possible. It could be something that you had never seen before, like it was kind of always there, but you just never really looked at it in the way that you are now, right? And whatever this is, whatever this star is, this kind of this compass that I see here with the Wheel of Fortune, or this kind of direction or purpose or what have you, this vision that you're kind of reaching towards, you go for it in a way that is really convicted and really like you're really thinking it out, and you just kind of leap. You're like, I can do it, right? I can go forth, I can make it happen, I can make it work. And then with the Eight of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, we have this kind of culmination of like maybe deciding that it wasn't for you, or you put work in, but it taught you something that that gives you a stronger sense of direction. Now, this is really actually cool with the cards that I already have out, because, you know, shedding more light on that, we see that whatever idea or inspiration or purpose you receive in this month of March, it definitely, you definitely act on it in a way that is like convicted and steadfast. You're going, you're ready, right? And then your choice to leave it behind does offer you a new perspective wherein you're able to play and to enjoy it in a way that is more fulfilling. And I think also it brings you, I'm hearing, to the table. So you're able to make connections, whether, you know, in the 3D, like with people or with family. But you're making connections, I think, regarding whatever this sense of purpose is, right? And, you know, kind of bringing it all together, what ends up happening here, from what I can see, is that you ultimately reframe. It's kind of like the blueprint is being used for a better blueprint, right? Like it's still the same idea, but a totally different font, right? Same thing, different font. That's kind of what I'm getting here, is that you pour a lot into something and you're like, I'm taking this too seriously. And then you push it off, and then you're able to kind of return back to it, perhaps. Or it gives you better direction, right? The lessons that we find in that experience, it serves something much grander than you initially anticipated. So let's get into the blessings of this month. That's how I've been doing these readings so far. So we're going to have some cards for the blessings of the month ahead. Spirit is saying 3 cards. Blessings from, Two of Cups. Yeah, and there's those connections. 2 of Cups. What else, Spirit? What are the other blessings for Virgo? One more. 2 more. Okay. Okay, Strength, the Magician in reverse, and the Tower. Ooh, and we've got the Hierophant at the bottom. Okay. So these are very powerful cards. I'll show you. So first card, 2 of Cups. I love that. Those are those connections. But something about this, you know, again, kind of, this is cool. I like this. I like this for blessings. So something about this connection that you make, and I think you know, for some of you, it's a connection that you already have. Something about this, it really offers you this perspective of how you, okay. I'm just listening. It's something about how you, the manner in which you go about things alongside people, perhaps. This might have to do with your sense of self. This might have to do with something, full body chills. Yeah, this is impacting something that, you know, some facet of your being, of your beingness, right? Some facet of you that you've always deemed, you know, of some importance or some significance, that is not removed, but rather restructured, right? So the Magician in reverse, you're experiencing an illumination of something that you might be cutting corners on, something that you are leaving behind in the process. And then the Tower, it's like that true, restructuring, that facilitating a new version of yourself. Yeah, like a new element of your life. It's facilitating the birth of this new facet, this new faction of your being that is, in essence, it's still you, right? But it is renewed. And so this connection, and this Two of Cups energy, it could be that it is connected to like a family wound. It could also be that it is connected to, full body chills. Yeah. So it could be that it's connected to a family wound. It could be that it's connected to a relationship that you're currently in, wherein you're seeing like a karmic lesson arise, right? I know that one of the eclipses is happening in Virgo, right? So this could very much have to do with that particular transit. But it shows you somewhere where, and I feel like this Strength card, I also, am really feeling the Strength card is like you've maybe pushed yourself into positions where you've had to be stronger than necessary in the past, right? And so maybe you're realizing like, I can do it different this time. And that's the Tower that we're experiencing here, is this understanding of like, I can do it different. And I've always had the ability to do it different than I have done it. And I've just chosen otherwise. And so maybe there's some disillusion. I've lost hearing in this ear, and there's a beautiful high pitched string. Controlling the elements of your being is not your concern. That's what I'm getting from this, is like control. So sometimes the messages come through really disjointed. So what I'm getting here is that like, maybe you've tailored parts of yourself to be understood or accepted by the family or collective at large, or perhaps by your person or your partner. And Spirit is saying that that is part of what is falling down here. That is part of what is being restructured, is the manner in which you throttle yourself on behalf of being like palatable. I think that the way that you go about whatever this inspiration is or this idea is, it really shows you something about yourself, and it frees you up to have a richer experience in creation, in relationships, and whatever it is. It frees you up to really to actually play and enjoy, right? And then ultimately, potentially be a leader in one way or another. So let's get a hexagram for you from the I Ching. That's really powerful. Okay, hexagram number 27. I think this came out for another sign. I can't remember which one. Hexagram number 27. Providing nourishment. Above mountain, below thunder. Thunder under the mountain. Attend to the people's needs. Thunder arouses the populace from complacency and shows them what is most urgently needed. It is important to nourish people with the food they require, taking care to address their concerns. A wise leader will not impose his or her preferences on the people, but rather will listen to their will and endeavor to provide nourishment of both body and spirit. So interesting. Yeah. So perhaps, one message that I'm really getting off of that is that perhaps part of this has to do with how you conduct yourself in relationships. Maybe something is shown to you. Let's get a little bit more about that. Let's get a little bit more. Let's get further messaging from the Poesis deck. Yeah, desire. And I'm seeing the Magician in reverse. I feel like you've had to muscle through times in your life where you've really sacrificed this right here, this desire. And, in order to come from a truly authentic place, you do need to acknowledge your desire without having shame attached to it, right? And shame is, spirit is really emphasizing that bit about shame there. So there's something about, I think the way that you posture yourself in relationships, that's really important here, because you are acknowledging where you have kind of let go of yourself, or where you have lost yourself, or where you have undergone very deep transformation that you want to bring integrity and light to in kind of the larger scope of who you are. It's like your understanding of yourself is growing, is expanding. And so there's a way for you to communicate that in your relationships and in the way that you provide and lead and just communicate with the people around you. And it is directly linked to just your relationship with yourself, right? Like there's your ability to enjoy, your ability to, take it slow and experience play, Play is an interesting thing, and it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. What is play all about? How do you play as an adult who's been, roundhouse kicked by by life, right? Let's get something about what you don't see coming for the month of March. What does Virgo not see coming? What are some unseen experiences or challenges that we can shed light on for Virgo? What are they allowed to know? 8 of Wands, Judgment, Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's that. Okay, Spirit is saying 2 more, actually. So I had 1 flip out. 2 more. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. Ooh, and the High Priestess. Ace of Swords. Oh, wow, so we've got 2 aces here. Okay. Okay. So this is definitely an opportunity for you to question your intention in your communication. Okay, so there's this inspiration with the Ace of Wands, but then there's, with the 8 of Wands here and Judgment, there's this like intensity that comes with that sense of purpose, or that knowledge that's like you have to be integral all of a sudden. This feels like a very strong sense of conviction that's saying like all of a sudden I can see. And so the shadowy element of this is understanding that if you move forward with this sense of purpose that is like, if there's too much fire behind it, right, it can, just enough fire will light the camp, right? It'll keep it lit, it'll warm your camp. But too much fire, or too much like gas on the fire or whatever, and it can ignite the entire forest, So there's this thing here, full body chills, where you're like, this is a very intense experience. Spirit is acknowledging this is a very intense experience. And so how are you going to temper it, right? And with all of these energies of like play and, enjoyment and connection, it's like, I think that in your heart, Virgo, you do just want to enjoy this new understanding of yourself with the people around you. I truly feel that you just want to enjoy this new growth, this new understanding of yourself. You truly want to enjoy that with the people around you, but you might feel as if you can't, because there is a holding back for the sake of politeness, and so all of a sudden, like, that just kind of like that top gets ripped off. Maybe that's something you've been doing in the past, and that's this Magician in reverse. Is like, you're like, potentially like muzzling yourself for a very long time. And so, you're peeling it back, or Spirit is peeling it back for you. This eclipse is peeling it back for you and offering you an opportunity to see all of that which has been shoved in the closet, right? All of those things that have been shoved in the closet, and I'm seeing it all just kind of pour out, and you're like, whoa, like, wow, man, that's a lot of shit, You're like, that's been in there for a long time, I can like really feel this intensity of just like seeing all of the things and this like outpouring, this catharsis, right? And so, and with the Eight of Wands here, you know, it could happen all at once, but I always echo with the Eight of Wands that like, you know, these are, they're moving fast, but they're all in one direction. And so they were pointed in that way, like they know where they're going. So with the Eight of Wands, we can acknowledge speed, but we can also acknowledge perhaps an opportunity for us to focus that speed in order to really alchemize the use of that card, right? Or the magic of that card. And I can see you in a place where you're really questioning, like, what is the right thing for me to do here? What is, you know, what is my, what is the right thing for me to do here? What is my MO, right? And so I always encourage my collective to say, like, what is your why? What are you looking to achieve in whatever it is that you're saying? You know, this is usually usually this is in the context of a romantic partnership. You know, if there's something that you're focusing on and you're like not sure if it's actually like good, right? Like maybe you find yourself only focusing on the negative that your partner, like the ways in which your partner is kind of disappointing you. It's like, well, if you choose to focus on something else, then that something else is going to have more truth, right? That something else is going to have more value. Like, what are you placing value in? And so that's kind of coming through for you here as this, you know, you can experience this intensity and have all these feelings arise, but you know, what glasses are you looking through? What lenses are you looking through when you have all of this intensity come in? Are you choosing to look at the full scope of things and, you know, focus on, are you focusing on the challenges? Are you focusing on the potential, right? It's like, well, my tire went flat on the side of the highway in a rainstorm, and this is all very terrible. I'm going to choose to assume that God is keeping me from something that if I would have continued going down the road, that I would have hit, you know, I would have hydroplaned and, you know, maybe I would have gotten into a terrible accident, as opposed to this alternative that Spirit gave me, which halts me and, you know, brings pause, but maybe then the rain lightens, and as I'm driving, I can see that massive puddle that I then would have hydroplaned on and like actually kind of ruined my car, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it is a choice. It is a choice. So like you're kind of, I can see you balancing here between, you know, how am I looking at this? Oh my God. And so this is a moment for you, you know, like, do I pop off or not? Essentially, right? Let's get some cards from you for, oh, and there's that disillusion card. Yeah. So this has to do with your identity. This has to do with something that you deem to be true. Child. Okay. Disillusioned child. Okay. Can I get a little bit more about that, Spirit? Boundary, wisdom, leap, noise. Whoa. Okay. Seek, silence. Okay. So I think that some of you, you know, and you just take this as it resonates, but I think that some of you actually have children, or you're caring for your inner child, or there's something about like a very youthful energy here that like you might find yourself in a place where you really like it all gets to be a lot all at once. Like things get very loud, okay? And I think that it really impacts your ability to show up in a way that is like it all just kind of mounts right into this judgment card. That's that disillusion card that I have in front of me. The mounting kind of chaos energy that we have here. Oh, and then there's trigger under that. Wow. Yeah, there's trigger under that. But then, you know, what's under trigger, right, is joy. It's kind of a choice, you know? So we have like all this chaos energy and all this noise and all of these distractions and all of these things going on. And it could be, because of a child. This could be your child. This could be, something different, but it seems to take you away from something that provides you a really strong sense of purpose. And so there's something here about taking a moment and really, with leap and silence here, I'm seeing you really actually leaping into silence. Like you're like, I gotta go. Like I gotta seclude myself, right? And so there's, you're being asked to do so in a way that is, with seek and boundary here, and work, it's like, there's a few things here. So for one, are you using like work as an escape potentially in this situation? Are you, kind of falling into like the father archetype where it's like, you're just kind of being, finding yourself becoming absent because that's like what's more comfortable? Are you perhaps policing boundaries in a way that is healthy and just saying like, I need 30 minutes. Just leave me alone, right? I'm going to go sit in the car. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go do something that completely separates me from this. And I need you guys to respect that. And if you can't respect that, I don't know what to tell you, right? Are you calling in help, right? Like, what are you doing for yourself in this situation to really create that moment of silence for you? And for some of you guys, it might feel like it's out of reach. I would encourage you to just think about the ways in which you can create reach, right? For some time in silence, right? Whatever you need to do to make that a part of your life. Just kind of think about ways and ask God to assist you in creating those ways to find that silence, right? To remove yourself, right? Which I know can be very difficult, especially if there are children involved. Now, if it's not something like that, it's like, your partner or, your inner child or people around you that just drain you, right? Just really drain you. And so there's this calling in of a higher wisdom that lies within you that is going to allow you to navigate this chaotic energy, this very overstimulating energy in a way that is productive and not harmful, right? In a way that creates healthy boundaries that, can be respected, so that you gain confidence and are getting what you need from the situations you find yourself in. That is kind of the biggest thing here. And the blessing coming out of it, again, you get this closer union to someone close to you, or you get a deepening of the bond with someone close to you. Connection is really important. Connection is a really big part of this. I feel like a lot of you guys might have like families, but connection is a really big part of this. Okay. So if you are in, if you have a family, if you're in a divine union, or if you're working on your relationship with yourself or maybe your work or something like this, that bond is being deepened. It's being taken to a level that is, I'm hearing much more transparent, which is interesting. It's like you see each other in a different way, or you see whatever that other thing is, that other person or place or thing or whatever, in a way that is kind of renewed. You see it in a different way that serves you and your understanding of that thing. Does that make sense? And so, again, Spirit is asking you to look for that wisdom and acknowledging that it might take a little bit of labor, but this is ultimately like really good for your character, right? This is kind of a character arc for you and an opportunity for character building, an opportunity to like deepen the knowledge of thyself, you see. I want to point out, I'm getting like crazy angel numbers. I got like 321, 111, 333, 3111. Like throughout this reading, I've been getting a lot. So I feel like this is a very seriously pivotal, because I've got all kinds of like things going on around me. There's a few screens going on here. So I feel like there's a big moment for you to pivot here, Virgo, and for that pivot to be oriented towards something much more satisfying, and that offers you a kind of clarity that is really beneficial for your long-term health and growth and wealth, etc., etc. Okay, this is really cool. This is really exciting, and I'm so happy for you. And I know that this all sounds challenging, but like it's the only way out is through. And so whatever part of you, you're ready to leave behind, I encourage you to do it with a kind of gusto that says like, fuck it. yeah, we're going to go and we're going to do the thing, and anything that it takes, we're going to make it happen, right? I want to be happy. I want to be joyful. I want to succeed. I want to, whatever it is that you want, right? You can have. And that's just the truth. Good job, Virgo. I hope that this was helpful for you in some way. Please be sure to drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. You can email me anytime. I'm always here. And I just want to extend a lot of love to you and encouragement, and just know that I'm cheering you on. Okay, Virgo? Take care of yourself.